With physical change and chemical changes, right?
Physical changes and chemical changes.
Yes, sir.
Physical changes and chemical changes. Sundus, did we did that chapter?
Yes, sir, we did it.
I think we did that
We did.
chapter.
Yes.
Chikrika, I think we did that. Were you present while we were doing that chapter? Chikrika,
I don't think so, sir.
you were not present, huh? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. While we will be revising the next chapter, no, I will be taking up that chapter for. While we will be revising that, revising, no, then I will be taking that chapter as well. Okay, no, so don't worry about that. We still have,
Okay.
like I think, okay, we still have sufficient time to revise almost all the chapters. Okay. So talking about forest, water forest. We will be talking about forest, but first of all, we would know some interesting points about forest, right? Generally, what do we mean when we hear of the term forest? It is basically an area of land that is dominated by trees. Huh? If you are having few trees in your garden, you won't call it forest, right now, because
Sir, it's
there you
also
have.
right.
It's also
Habitat.
habited by animals. Very good. Okay, now, but then also, if I were to have a large garden and there I have planted the trees and some I have domesticated some animals, so they have habitated that area, but still it will not be called as a forest, because there are some criterias for an area to be called as forest. First criteria is that it has to be dominated by trees. Huh? In different parts of the world, different definitions are used for forest, right now. So for example, when we talk about forest, we have to consider the density of the trees there, height of the trees. Getting it now? So there's not just one definition for forest. Okay, now it's not like there's just one definition of forest. In different parts of the world, we'll be having different definition of forest. If I were to state in one line, I would say that a forest is an area of land that is dominated by the trees. Getting it now? Okay. Now, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization, that is FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. So this organization defines that if an area, of half hectares is dominated by trees, okay, na, and those trees are having a height greater than 5 meter, okay, na, so then they say that that area will be called as a forest. So if I were to have half hectare of area, hectare is a unit of area. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Hectare is a
And
unit of.
also, sir, uh, in the forest, the plants and trees should grow on their own.
Exactly. It goes on their own. It grows on their own. So and so if I were to have half acre of area, half acre means what? 1 acre means 10,000 square meter. So I am having 5,000 square meter of area. So on that piece of area, if I were to grow trees that are having a height more than 5 meter, okay, and there's a dense canopy also. Canopy, you know what is, just like you are having ceiling over our houses. So in the forest, if you ever happen to go
Yes.
to a dense forest, you will see that it will be hard to look at the sky. Okay, now because it looks like there's a ceiling over the forest. Okay, now so if it's like 10% of that area is covered by the canopy. So three criterias are over here. The Food and Agriculture Organization states that if I am having an area of half acre, half hectare, okay, na, and I have grown, basically trees are growing on that hectare of area, and each trees are measuring more than 5 meter, and 10% of that area is covered by canopy. So then it is called as a forest. Getting it or not, Sundus? You got
Yes.
it? Yeah,
Yes.
Vaiga. Yes, Vaiga. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm sorry I was a bit late.
Okay, no, sure. By the way, where have you been? I think the previous 2 or 3 classes you were absent.
Yeah, sir. I actually had exams and like I was out for many days.
Okay. No issue, no issue. So we have just started a new chapter today. That is
Okay,
Forest
sir.
Our Lifeline. Okay, no.
Okay, sir.
So it's better. It's good that you joined today. Okay. So I just told to Sundus and Chakrika that we don't have got any particular definition for forest. Huh? A different There are different type of organizations, and each organization will be having their own definitions. Huh? So in just one line, I would say that a forest is an area of land that is dominated by presence of trees, right? And then I said that there's an organization called as FAO, that is Food and Agriculture
Organization.
Organization. Good. That says that if you are having an area of half hectare, 0.5 hectare, meaning what? 5,000 square meter of area. If I'm having 5,000 square meter of area, and on that piece of land, Vaiga, I'm growing. Basically, trees have grown on their own, and each of trees are measuring 5 meter, and 10% of that area is covered by the canopy. So that will be called as a forest, right?
Okay, sir.
So,
Yes.
so that is the thing. Okay. Now, approximately 30 to 31% of the world's land area is covered by forest. If you were to talk about the land area of the world, so almost 31% of land area is covered by forest. Getting it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no?
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Also, like if you were to talk about like in the context of space, which is rare? Is it diamond or is it wood? Which is rare?
So
What, sir?
diamond.
Sir, wood.
Wood, Sundus. My question was that in universe, which is rare? Is it diamond or is it wood?
Diamond.
Wood only. Wood.
Wood only. Because wood is found here on Earth only, while diamond is found on other terrestrial bodies as well. Okay,
Like
now?
Oh,
yes,
okay.
sir. In planet,
Yes,
like the diamond rain in a planet, like there is a rain of diamonds. I don't
exactly.
remember the name.
There's a planet in where you have got basically in the atmosphere of that planet, diamonds are raining. Okay, now. Who knows the name of that planet where you will find that diamond will be raining? Hmm? On the planet
That
Uranus
is like
and
okay.
Neptune. Okay, now. So on Uranus, Neptune, there's a like it's like there's a rainfall of a diamond. So diamond is not rare, but wood is rare. All right, now. So hope you guys are getting it. Okay. Now, before we actually study about the factual and conceptual things in the class, there are a few important things we should be discussing about forest. Okay, no. So right now we are just discussing some general things in regard to forest. Yeah. What does this image represents? What does this mean?
Lungs.
Lungs.
Lung.
Yeah.
Yeah. So forests are called as lungs of the earth. Okay, now if I were to quote examples of some forests like the Amazon rainforest, one of the uh, densest forest on earth. So Amazon forest is also called as lungs of the earth, while in general forests are called as lungs of earth. Getting it now? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we know that forests are home to over 80% of the world's land-based species of animals, plants, and insects. How many? 80%. Okay, now. So where 20 other percent of terrestrial animals are living, they will be living in plains. Others will be found living in plains. You can find it in the deserts. Okay, no? You can find them in mountains. but 80% of the world's terrestrial means terrestrial refers to land. So 80% of the world's terrestrial plants and animal species are found to be living in forest. Getting it or not? Okay. Next, we know that forest can make rain. Right now, is there anything too
Sir, can you
confusing
go to the
about it?
previous slide once?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let me zoom it out. Yeah.
So you can continue.
Okay. So forest can make rain. How do they make rain? Basically, water vapor evaporates from the surfaces of the leaves via transpiration. Water evaporates in the form of water vapor. Getting it now? So evaporation not only takes place from water bodies, but it takes place from the plants as well. Getting it now? So forest can make rain as well.
Transpiration.
That is why the process of transpiration exactly.
Okay.
Okay now. Hmm. And then we get to see like forests are incredibly good at storing carbon. Huh? They store carbon also. How do they store carbon? Basically, we know that plants take up carbon dioxide in the process of photosynthesis. So thereby they are kind of storing the carbon. Getting it now? At present, what is the percentage of carbon dioxide in the Earth's air?
Sir, 0.03%.
No, it has increased. Earlier it was 0.03. Now it has increased to, anyone who knows? It's 0.04%. Talking about
Oh,
carbon dioxide, okay, no? So that is CO2.
yes. Previously, that was all other gases amount.
Previously, talking only about the carbon dioxide, previously it was 0.03%. Now, due to the increasing population, it stands at
Yes,
0.04%.
yes, sir.
Okay,
0.04% was the previous amount of like all other gases present on Earth.
okay, okay. Huh. Which two gases amounts for 99% of the composition of air?
So
Yeah,
nitrogen and oxygen.
nitrogen and oxygen, namely 78 and 21%. Right now. Okay, next we know that forest once covered just under half of the Earth's land. So once the human civilization started to grow, started to expand to different parts of the world, so thereby they started cutting the fields. Getting it now? They started cutting the fields. But earlier, say if people are living on this much of land now, say people are nowadays living on, let's say, this much of land is populated by humans. Okay, now, and this much of land is, let's say, was at present it is being occupied by the forest. So earlier, many years, thousands of years ago, forests were covering under half of the Earth's land. Huh? So the thing is that, see, if the humans are living right now, when the humans have occupied vast portion of the land surface. Getting it out. The majority of the land surface is occupied by the humans. But many years ago, almost thousands and thousands of years ago, the vast majority of the land, almost 50% of the land was occupied by the plants only, by the forest only. But nowadays, more than 50% is occupied by human settlements. Getting it now? Okay, so hope that is also clear. Then we know that our food system is the biggest driver of forest loss. Right now, why the forests are being lost? Because one of the primary reason is that our food reserves are coming from forest as well. Getting it now? Okay. And then people are responsible for around 3/4 of all wildfires. Right now, almost 75% of
So can you go to the
fires
previous?
in the forest Almost 75% of the wildfires are caused due to human intervention, due to human activities. Okay, no? So that is another thing. While wildfires can happen on its own as well. Okay, no? It can happen on its own as well. Deforestation will be releasing carbon dioxide that has been stored as carbon in trees, roots, and soil, and thereby making climate change worse. So deforestation is simply the act of cutting trees on a larger scale. So why deforestation? What was happening? We know earlier when the plants were present there, they were storing carbons. They were storing carbons in them. But now we have cut them down. Getting it? No? So thereby, since there are no plants over here, so the excess amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will not be taken up by the plants. So hence, deforestation is helping in the release of carbon dioxide in the air because it's not being taken up by the plants now, since plants are being cut down. Okay. If you were to talk about a typical tree in a forest, okay, now that is several meters long. So in an year, it can take up to 150 kilogram of carbon dioxide. 150 kilogram of carbon dioxide if you were to have a cylinder which weighs 150 kilogram of carbon dioxide. You have stored 150 kilogram of carbon dioxide in a cylinder. So that much of carbon dioxide is taken up by one plant over the course of 1 year. Getting it now? So that is how important plants are. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Any confusions? Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. If you were to talk about the distribution of forest in India, okay. In the class, I will be telling you about like there are different type of forest based on the amount of rainfall. You have got different type of forest based on physiography of the area. You have different type of forest. Okay, now you have tropical rainforest, you have deciduous rainforest. Right now, so like that, you will be having different type of forest. But just know that they are these. This is the distribution of the forest. Tropical evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, montane forest, mangrove forest, and tropical thorn forest. What are these type of forests? What is the difference between them? What actually they are? We will be covering that in later part of the class. All right, no. Now, here I have taken a definition of forest, which basically says that it is an area or part of the land that is covered with trees and wide variety of plants. Okay. When we say about tree and plant, basically here we are basically referring to shrubs and herbs. All right. Not only this, forests form a complete ecosystem that includes various living organisms such as trees, shrubs, plants, microbes, wild animals, and birds, and some other species of organisms as well. All right, now. So when the definition for forest is asked, this is what you should be writing. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Some okay. Some other interesting point about forest is that you know that uh, today almost 40% of the global um, energy requirement is met by wood. So wood which is acting as a fuel, it provides 40% of today's global energy supply. Getting it now? So that is also important here. Also, like more than 25% of the medicines we are using, they originate in the rainforest. They are obtained from rainforest plants. Getting it now? But the astonishing part is that, but the very surprising thing is that we are obtaining almost 25% of the medicines from the forest, uh, uh, is- uh, specifically the rainforest plants. but we have studied just 1% of rainforest plants. What if we were to study all of them? Imagine how beneficial it would be if we were to study all of the rainforest plants. Getting it what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There are different type of trees also. For example, if you were to talk about oak tree, have you seen pictures of oak tree? Yeah. Oak tree. Oak tree, a full grown oak tree can store up to 1.5 lakh liters of water in a year. How many? 1.5 lakh liters of water is stored by an oak tree. All right now. So far I have given some general and given some important points regarding forest. If you guys have any questions from this, please do let me know. Yeah.
No,
Sundus,
sir.
Vaika, Chakrika, any questions? Okay. Let's start then. Yeah. First of all, we would be studying about different type of forest. All right, no? What are the different type of forests that are present on Earth? Okay, moments ago I did told you, like I did use the term rainforest. Yeah. So rainforest,
Yes.
what does that mean? Yes. There are different type of forests like uh, tropical rainforests are there. Okay, now. Also, you guys know, I think you guys know about tropic. What are tropics? What do we mean by tropic? Say you have the earth like this. Okay. We have some imaginary lines running over here. The this imaginary line uh, p- um, that
So
divides
what
the
were you
earth into two
saying?
equal halves. I was saying that. See, you have this earth over here. Okay.
Like, were you asking a
I
question or something? Or is this what you were explaining from
no,
first?
I'm explaining something. I'm explaining something
Oh,
here.
okay, so.
Okay, now see, if I were to look at this part of earth, I have drawn an imaginary line. Anyone knows what do we call this imaginary line as?
Equator.
Equator. Very good.
So what
Equator.
did you just say? Um,
We
yeah.
have drawn a imaginary line over here that divides the earth into two equal halves. Okay, and that is at 0 degree. 0 degree. That we call as equator. You guys, I hope you guys know this thing. Like you can divide earth using imaginary lines like this. We call them as longitudes and latitudes,
Yes, sir, we know.
right now.
Yes, sir.
So we have latitudes, longitudes. Okay, which one is latitude? Which one is longitude over here? The vertical lines or the horizontal lines?
So the horizontal lines are latitudes,
Okay, and the vertical lines are
longitudes.
Longitude.
longitudes. Good. So this is longitude, and this over here is latitude. So we have divided Earth into with the help of vertical and horizontal lines, namely called as longitudes and the latitudes. Why we did that? For the purpose of having ease in studying our Earth. Okay. Now, also there will be different degrees of these angles. For example, the one that will be passing from the middle, it will be at 0 degree, and that we call as equator. And above equator, you will be having another latitude that is called as Tropic of Cancer. That is as 23.5 degree. And then again over here, you will be having one more line, one more latitude that we call as Tropic of Capricorn. Right now. Okay. Now, some other interesting thing over here is that you see that this is sun over here. Okay, now let me take a smaller diagram. Say this is sun, and let's say these are the rays coming out of the sun, sunlight. So where the sunlight will be falling directly? Will it be at the equator or will it at be the poles?
Sir, at the equator?
At the equator, it will be directly falling over the equator. Getting it now? Also, we know that. Yeah. So also, you know that this is basically the map of the world. Let's say North America, South America. Okay. This over here is Africa, and this here is the Middle East, and here you have Europe, and here you have Asia. Let's say this is Asia, this is Africa, this is Middle East, this is North America, this is South America. Clear so far? No.
Sir.
So the point I'm trying to make over here, make here is that at those places on Earth where the sun's rays are falling perpendicular, where they are falling directly, so thereby you will find that vegetation is denser. Okay. So why? Because forests require sunlight as well. Getting it now? But there will be some exceptions there also, but we are not studying the exceptions right now. The first thing is that where the sun's rays will be falling directly to the land, thereby you will be having dense vegetation forest. And also do tell me, like at the poles, the sun's rays are slant. They are falling slant. They are falling slantly at the poles now. So thereby you get to see that poles are colder as compared to the tropical area. Getting it now? Also, moments ago I did told you there is Tropic of Cancer, there is Tropic of Capricorn. So this much is Tropic of Cancer, this much area is, see, this here is Tropic of Cancer, this over here is Tropic of Capricorn. This much of area is called as tropical area. Let me repeat that. This over here is this line over here that you see above the equator, that is called as Tropic of Cancer. And this line over here just below the equator, that is called as Tropic of Capricorn. That is again at 23.5 degree. Yes.
So what is the main point in this explanation?
The main point I'm trying to make over here is that, see, in this tropical area, most of the dense forest will be found in this tropical area.
Okay, sir.
So whichever country will be lying in this tropical area, they will be having dense forest. Getting it now? So that is the thing. Also, in geography, you will be having several exceptions. So we are not going there right now. Okay. So hope you guys have got it what I was trying to tell you. So this is that clear?
basically,
Mhm.
most of the forests are found in tropical region.
In tropical region, it will be found. That is true. But then also you will be having some exceptions. Okay, now, while if you were to look at the northern part of Africa, okay, in the northern part of Africa, there you won't be finding that much of forest. All right, now.
Yes.
So there are exceptions there as well.
Okay.
Also, you say like Saudi Arabia, it is lying in the tropical area, but why it
Yes.
is still not having having forest? Because of the physiographic condition over there, right? Now, also because of the wind patterns. Wind pattern is also different because wind carries moisture, and that leads up to rainfall also. Here in India, you have got monsoon effect. Right now, monsoon winds carries monsoon wind brings rainfall in northern part of India. Getting it now? So while if dry winds were to run over the northern part of India, then thereby it will not be bringing rain. So there are different factors playing at the same time. At a given period of time, so many different factors are acting. Getting it now? Okay, so like it's not like In geography, we say that the truth lies in the gray region. The truth is neither black, neither white. It lies in the gray region. Getting it what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall I erase this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So where you will be finding dense forest? On the poles or at the equator?
At
At
the
the
equator.
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 Or at near to the equator. Or what else we can say? We can say
In
that
the tropical
in the
region.
tropical region, exactly. Okay, no. So forest, we know that it is hmm, there will be different kind of forests present on Earth, and the type of forest found in an area will be determined by different factors. For example, the geographical condition of that area, the climatic condition of that area also will determine the type of forest found in that area, apart from where that area lies on Earth as well. Okay, so that is the thing. Now we know that forests are home of numerous of plant species. Different type of plant species are found in forests. There are some type of plant species that are indigenous to a particular forest only. You won't find it in any other part of the world. Getting that there are several plants that are found in Amazon forest only, and it's not seen in any other part of the world. Yeah, you guys know about indigenous species. Indigenous species, a type of species, whether it be of plant or animal, that is found in a particular area only, and it is nowhere else to be found in the world.
It is basically rare.
It is rare, basically. For example, flying squirrel, huh? Flying squirrel, red giant frog. These will be found in the Panchmarhi reserves here in India. Okay, now. I was telling you that forests are home of numerous of plant species. There are different kind of trees that will be found in forest. For example, you have bamboo, you have neem, you have a fig tree, you have a teak plant, teak tree. Getting it now? So along with the trees, you will be having shrubs as well. You will be having herbs as well. You will be having creepers. You will be having grasses. All of that. Okay, now. Now of these plants, all of these plants are serving various purposes to the environment and to the human being as well. You all must have studied about food chain. Food chain, you all must have
Yes,
studied
sir.
about. Yeah.
Chennai. Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
Where you have the primary producer as
Yeah.
plants are the primary
We have a
producers.
PT based on this kind of chapter, sir.
You have a
It is, I have a PPT based on this kind of chapter.
okay, good. Right now. So I just told you like forests are home of numerous type of plant species. Some just for example, you have like neem plant over there, you have bamboo, okay, you have sal, you have teak, you have sesame. So just to name few, these are some of the examples of that. Then apart from that, you have got shrubs as well. You have got herbs as well. Right? You have shrubs, you have herbs, you have creepers, you have climbers. All of them form part of the forest, and then you have will be having grasses as well. So all of them forms an environment that is beneficial to human beings as well. That is beneficial to the other animals also. Another interesting thing about the forest is that no one goes there to plant them. It grows by themselves, right now. So the forests grow by themselves. So they grow by themselves. Now the thing is that if you were to look at the forest now, you will find that you will be having trees of different shape and different sizes, right? So here you can look at the neem tree, shisham, simal, and bamboo. Okay, now so these are different type of trees over here. Also, do tell me, is bamboo a tree or is it a grass?
It's a
Yeah,
tree.
So
it's a tree. Yes. Does everyone think it's a tree?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But actually, bamboo is a type of grass. Bamboo is actually a type of grass, not a tree. Getting it now? Okay, so do remember that also. Although
It's so
it's a
because
type.
its leaves have a parallel Venetian, right?
Not just that thing. Not just that thing. There are several other criteria
But we
for it
can also
also.
identify it using that tree.
We can identify it using that. That is correct. And then you to see like it will be having fibrous root also. So it belongs to the family of grass. Okay, now in biology you
Yes.
will
And
study like, yeah,
its
yes on
stem
this.
is also different.
Huh. Okay, now its system is also different. Basically, uh, the thing is basically now, if you were to look at the structure of it, there are spiny leaves found in it. Okay, now, and it's not like they will be in from the sideways of it. You will be finding like so much of branches will be growing out of it. Okay, then next. Remember moments ago I had told you about canopy, about crown. What are these things now? Yeah, canopy, crown. So basically, the upper part or basically the top of the tree will be called as crown. You have several forests in the. You have several trees in the forest. So the top part of the tree will be called as crown, while a ceiling like a structure is formed by the crown, and that is called as canopy. So what is canopy? In the forest you will get to see when the trees grows to its full size, to its full length, thereby the branches of the tree will appear as if they have formed the roof of the forest, roof over the forest. And it will be hard to look at the sky will basically not be visible that much. So that is basically called as canopy. So let me write this thing down, that in the dense forest, the trees that grows tall, their branches forms, or typically we are talking about crown, the top branches we are talking about. Okay, no? So their branches forms a roof like a structure that reduces the visibility of sky. Hope that is clear to everyone. Okay, shall I move ahead then?
But
Yes,
can
sir.
you just wait a minute?
Okay, note this down. Also you will find that in a forest you will see like there will be different layers in the forest. Layers of what? Huh? Based on the height of the
Wait,
trees. Yeah.
we can move the screen.
Okay. Next thing I was saying that in a forest you will get to see that trees will be having different height. Right now there will be some trees that will be growing up to length of 5 meters, some will be growing up to 17 meter, and some will be growing up to height of 125 feet, like that is 38 meter as well. Okay, and these type of trees are typically found in the tropical forest. Okay, now you see. So let's start by talking about the first layer of this. That is the undergrowth. Okay, now. So see, stratification basically is being referred to the um, different layers found in the forest, layers of the plants. That is what stratification is referred to here. Okay, now. So here the forest has been divided into different layers depending upon the height of the trees or the height of the plants in it, right? Now, the good part about the stratification is that if you were to look carefully here, what if all the trees were to be of the same size? Yeah, Sandus, Vaiga and Chakrika, do tell me, what if all the trees were to be of the same size? Will that be a good thing, or will the trees not be able to grow properly?
Sir, I think that will be a bad thing.
Bad thing, good. What about others? Will it be beneficial for all the trees if all of them were to be of the same height? Obviously, no. Uh, Obviously, no. Why?
Yes.
Because when I am having trees of different layers, and look over here. See, take example of these two giant trees, this one and this one. Look at the space that they have occupied. So they are basically occupying the top layer of the forest. Now there are some empty spaces over here as well now. Okay, now. So trees of lesser height will be growing in that empty area. So that empty area will be occupied by the branches of trees having lesser height. Similarly, when we will keep on going down, thereby the empty space will be occupied by trees of lesser height. So that's why we
So,
get to see here. Yeah.
so the undergrowth layer is also known as the forest floor layer, right?
Hmm. Exactly. It is called as the forest floor also. Right now. So look over here. Basically, we are studying the stratification in forest, and stratification is basically here we are basically dividing this natural habitat into different layers. Okay, and the basis of dividing them is on the it is based on the heights of the trees, heights of the plants, or heights of the vegetation of this area. So due to stratification, what happens, the competition among the plants has been minimized, right now. The competition among the plants has been minimized. Okay, now also you will see like there are some animals that will be living into trees of lesser height, and there are some animals that will be making their nest in longer trees as well. Getting it now? So that suits the wildlife there also, that suits the animal also. So stratification in the forest not only minimizes the competition among the plants, but also minimizes the competition among the animals. So hence it is allowing them to survive in a convenient manner. Is everyone getting the points or not?
So I
Yes,
didn't
sir.
get you. Just repeat again.
Okay, look here. Basically, the thing over here is now there will be some animals. Okay, now for example, there will be like there are several species of monkeys. Okay, now that will be climbing onto trees of lesser height only. They can't climb up to this tree. So
Yes, sir.
to that species of animals, to that species of monkeys, trees of lesser heights are suitable, right now. And then there are some birds who would like to make their nest high above in the higher trees, so that they are able to protect the nest from predators. Getting it now? So thereby, due to stratification, we are seeing that not just the plants but the animals are also benefiting, right now. Also, you can also imagine like what if I were to have only plants like this. I am having trees of the same length, all of them are having same length. They will be occupying a space like this, huh? So we it were to be like this, so then thereby what will happen, the lower trees of lesser height will not be growing properly. So hope that clears the doubt. So the very first layer, as Yakrika was saying, we also call the undergrowth trees as the forest floor also. So we have the forest floor. So forest floor will basically consist of what basically? See, if you were to look over here, see this layer which I'm highlighting over here. Let me use this one. See this layer? Yeah. This layer of the forest. That will be called as forest floor. So on forest floor, what you will be finding? You will be finding some leaves. Huh?
Sure.
You will find some shrubs also will be found there. You will be finding soil also there. Getting it now? You will be finding like rotting plants will be there right now. Shredded leaves will be there. Shredded barks, bark, that bark I'm talking about. The bark of the tree will be there. Shredded bark, shredded leaves, soil, some type of shrubs will also be found here. Shrubs, herbs. So that comprises the forest floor. Getting it or not?
Yes,
So
sir.
that is what
Getting.
forest floor means. Second thing you will be having here, you will be you will be having the herb layer. Okay, now herb layer. The herb layer. So look again over here. See, here you can actually see that there are some grasses also. See, there are some grasses here as well. No? So in the herb layer now, what type of things you will be finding? You will find that some type of grasses will be growing in that layer of the forest, right? Also, it will consist of herbs in it also. So basically, in the herb layer of the forest, I am seeing that you have non-woody trees. There are some trees from which you obtain wood, but from the herbs and shrubs, will we be obtaining wood? From the grasses, will we be obtaining wood? Yeah, obviously no. So in the herb layer, that is the next layer of the forest, you will find non-woody trees, non-woody plants are there. Okay, no. Normally, you will be having grasses, you will be having herbs as well. Okay, no. So that is a herb. Also, one more thing, the forest layer which I told you moments ago, here we won't be counting the shrubs. We won't be counting the shrubs here. Okay, no. So let me actually write the definition for it so that it is not missed. Hmm. So it will comprise of shed leaves by the tree. It will comprise of topsoil. It will comprise of shredded bark of tree also. Bark is, by the way, the outer layer of the stem. Outer layer of the stem is called as bark. All right, now. So that is what the forest floor will be made up of. In the herb layer, you will be having grasses and other herbs will be found in it. And these are the non-woody plants, right now. The non-woody plants are found here. In the third layer, you will be having the shrub layer. The shrub layer. So obviously in this layer, you will be finding plants that will be having a height greater than the grasses or some other herbs. You know, shrubs are having, they are they are having, uh, if you were to talk about the length of the shrub, it is more than that of herbs right now. So the shrub layer will be consisting of plants that is having a small to medium sizes. Okay, so it consists of shrubs, the plants having small to medium size. Is that clear to everyone? Moving on to the fourth layer. The fourth layer will be this one. See the understory. That is the fourth layer. What is understory? Basically over here, it will be consisting of plants that grows above the forest floor, but it is growing below the canopy. So you can clearly see that these plants are growing below the canopy. Okay, now it is growing below the canopy. Hope you guys are able to understand this.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
you can see you have coconut plants as well over here, right? The understory. The plants that are above the forest floor, but
Below the canopy.
lower than the canopy. Okay, note these points down, and then we will be moving further. Also in the forest now. Okay, first note these points down, then I will be telling one more thing.
Okay, sir.
So like after the plant, what is that in the understory?
The
The
plants
plant.
that are above the forest floor but lower than the canopy. One more thing you have to write about it is that they require less amount of sunlight. They require less amount of sunlight. That's why they are able to grow there now, right? No, that's why understory plants are able to grow.
So done.
Done, everyone? Everyone done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Also, am I visible to you guys or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
You're
you're
visible.
visible.
Okay. Actually, in the previous class, there was some technical issue. I know I was not visible, so I thought, is the issue continuing
Oh,
in this class also?
okay, sir.
So one more thing. See, when you will look, if you were to ever look at the drone footage of a forest, do one thing: search on YouTube drone footage of a forest. So there you will find now there are some trees that are having lengths of up to 38 meter, 40 meter, 50 meter also. Okay, and they will be few in number. They will not be great in number. While majority of the forest will be consisting of canopy layer. So it's like no. See, this is the canopy. Okay, na? This is canopy, and then thereby you will be having some trees that will be above the canopy. There will be few of them, not majority. Getting at what I'm trying to say. Let me now actually show you this diagram to me. Give me 1 minute. Okay, now you will be getting a better picture of it then. Okay, now. Just hold on for 1 minute. Let me show you this image. I think that should give you the better idea about what I'm actually talking. I hope that one will work. Exactly. This is the image I was looking for. See, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, it's not working. Okay, just hold on. Just give me 1 more minute. Okay, now? Just give me 1 more minute. Okay. Is my screen visible? Yeah.
Yes,
Look
sir.
at this image over here. Look at this tree over here. This one. Okay, where did it went? Yeah. Look at the height of this tree. Is it not visible? Visible? Huh. Look at the height of this tree over here. Yeah, Sundus, why can't Chakrika? So this is actually the emergent layer of the forest I'm talking about. That is having height greater than all the others, and they are few in number. Look at some other images of it also. Have a look at this image. See in this one, look at the two tallest. Look at the tallest plants in here. Is it visible? Yeah. Look at the two of the tallest plants in. Look at the two of the tallest trees in this image. That is
Sir,
actually the
in between,
emergent layer.
hanging
Is
in
it visible
between.
now?
It is
In between?
visible, sir, but it is like hanging in between.
Yeah, I also observed that. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Right now. So
It's
that is the
visible.
emergent layer of the forest which I'm talking about, right? Okay, hope you got a better picture of it now. Okay, all right. So answer few of the questions. Then from here we will be continuing in the next class. Okay. So how much percentage of land area is covered by forest?
So upper half of the Earth's land.
No, not half. I was telling like so many years ago that was the case when almost half of the Earth's land was covered by forest.
Sir, 80%.
80%? No, not 80%.
Uh,
Mhm. Anyone remember this point over here?
It
See,
between 30%,
31%.
30 or 1.
31%. Okay, no? 31% of the land surface of the earth is covered by forest. Okay. Okay, then also answer a few more questions like the type of forest found in an area will depend upon what factor?
so the climate.
Climate. Yeah, climate will be there and
Density,
and
rainfall.
rainfall. That will be basically counted in climate. And then what else will it
The
be?
height,
Geographic factor will also be there. The elevation of the land, that will also be determining factor. Good. What else, Vaika?
So climate.
Climate already Chakrika mentioned that.
Okay.
It will
So
be
the region.
which one?
The region.
The region also basically its proximity to the equator.
Yes,
Okay, now
basically the tropical region.
exactly if it lies in the tropical region, thereby it will be having a forest.